Karma means action. So we don't get freedom from action, but we get freedom from the binding influence of the action. And this impression, falling of the impression deep in the mind, is the binding influence of karma. So meditation does not make a man free from karma, but from the binding influence of karma. We don't get freedom from karma, neither we get freedom from the effects of karma, from the fruits of karma, but only the binding influence of karma is released. We have caused a situation in the mind that it doesn't catch the impressions deep. And according to this law of causation, the mind is free from the binding influence of karma. We have caused a situation in the mind so that the mind does not take impressions deep. And due to this, in this way, completely in accordance with the law of causation, the mind is free from the binding influence of karma. This will mean that if we don't do karma, then we will be free from karma. But we can't be without doing the karma. As long as the body is alive, mind is alive, senses are alive, one cannot refrain from karma. Freedom from binding influence of karma does not mean freedom from doing the karma. We get freedom from doing the karma in deep sleep. There we don't do any karma. But we do not get eternal freedom in deep sleep. Karma has been brought to nil in deep sleep, but that has not given rise to a state of freedom in life. In deep sleep, one is completely bound by ignorance. Deep sleep is a state of utter ignorance, complete darkness. We cannot call it a state of enlightenment. There is no enlightenment there. Bound in passivity, we are not liberated. A life of liberation will mean that we do whatever we want, yet we are not in the grip of bondage of karma. A life in eternal freedom will mean complete freedom of action and freedom from bondage. Transcendental life. There we are free from action and free from karma, but that state of transcendence also is not the state of eternal freedom in life. Because it's not physically possible to be in the transcendent all the time. In that state, yes, we are eternal, we are free, but not eternally free. Because having been there, when we come out in the field of karma and then in the field of bondage of karma. If we have done a karma to eat a heavy meal, this is a karma done by us. Now this karma we'll have to bear through meditation. It won't be deep. It won't be deep. Only when the process of meditation is complete, then we get out of the relativity and then get out of the field of karma in the field of the absolute. And then when that is infused into the nature of the mind, then we get impressions less. The theory of karma says that the one who has created the karma, he has to bear it. He has to bear it, can't possibly escape it. I think 15 minutes I devote on karma. Make you clear the whole theory of karma. Karma means action. Action means creation of some vibration. Say, I do the karma of lifting this bunch of flowers, lifting. This lifting has produced some vibrations that begin to spread in the atmosphere. When the vibrations are set up from here, they go and reach the wall, strike the wall, and return back to the doer again. Action and reaction are equal is the scientific law. The action produced in striking the wall reaches back the doer because it is he who has created it. Reaches back the doer. Some vibrations reach the hill and from there they return. Some reach the moon and from there they return. Some reach the sun and from there they return. Some reach the stars, galaxies, millions of years, millions of miles far away, and from there they return to the doer. It is said that just as a calf will find out its mother in the midst of 1,000 cows, so the karma will find out its doer anywhere he may be. Someone committing a sin in the light of the law, the land, does something, and after 10 years the CID finds it out, and then he is brought to the court and he says, no, I don't remember anything about it. The judge will say, doesn't matter. If you don't whether you remember or not, here is the result, come on. As you sow, so you reap. And then, who is the doer? The doer is the ego, the mind. Although the senses perform the action, but the senses are not the doer. The doer is the thinker within. So, the thinker, as long as it is associated with the body, it is associated with the body. But the doer is that thinker, that subtle body, that jiva. If he casts away this body, goes to the other body, then he will be caught by that action in the other body. Body doesn't matter. If you commit a sin and live here and sell off this house and begin to live in the other house, someone will go to you in the other house. The house doesn't matter. Body doesn't matter. What matters is the doer and what he has done. Just as your letter is redirected from this address to the address you go, so also the effect of karma is redirected to whatever body you take after this body, doesn't matter. As I just was going to say, I was saying, the vibrations return from the wall, from the hill, from the sun, from millions of miles. There are galaxies in the world, stars, from where the light takes millions of years to reach the earth. So when the vibrations reach so far as that and strike against that and then rebound and come back to the doer, millions of years have passed already. So the effect of the karma done now is not received all at once. It keeps on being received from time to time, so all eternity. The effect in the vicinity of the doer is maximum. But the effect is created throughout the universe. Whatever little effect at far distances, but it is created. And all that effect has to come back. Whatever effect we produce in nature, it has to rebound and come back to the doer. As the vibrations, if you drop a stone in the pond, the waves are set up. On all sides they are set up. If there is an iceberg, they strike against it and then return. If there is no iceberg, then they go to the shore to the extent the water is. Like that, once we have produced some karma, said one word, the vibrations are set forth. And they are striking against everything, and reach the extremity of universe. And from there they keep on returning. Wherever they strike, they keep on returning. So the vibration that strikes against the wall and returns to us, returns quickly. The vibration that strikes the sun and returns to us takes little time to return. Like that, millions and trillions of miles away from stars, and there these vibrations go and come back. They take millions of years to come back. So every second, every spur of the second that we are producing some karma, we are storing the fruit of that karma to be born for millions of years. This is the scientific explanation which brings the truth of the theory of karma. As you sow, so you reap. Thoughts are the seeds of karma, very powerful seeds. The seed in its seed status is very potent. If you have thought of injuring a man, you have injured the whole creation. Already injured in the subtle state. The purpose of whole creation is expansion of happiness. In case of an individual, the purpose of creation is evolution towards perfection. So all the karma that helps a man go towards the upgoing stream of evolution is said to be good. And any karma that deteriorates his position from the present, that is bad. These are good and bad. That helps evolution is good. That goes the other way is bad. Sin and virtue is the same. The criterion of good and bad that we find in the scripture is not human conception of good and bad, but it is arbitrary. It is based on the absolute decision, good and bad. That which is helpful for evolution is good, virtue, religious. That which helps to go down is irreligious, sinful, bad, wrong. Future after death depends on what a man has done throughout life, but the next the next goal, where he will be born, mainly depends on the desire at the time of death. The desire at the time of death. Supposing one has been a very good man, all lifelong, clean, neat. But at the time of death he remembers a cat. He will be born as a cat, but in a very good family where the cats are kept very He'll become cat by virtue of the last desire at the time of death. But he'll be a good cat, comfortable cat, because of good all karma throughout life. Next birth is always on the basis of the last desire at the time of death. Last desire at the time of death decides where the jiva is to be born.
Maharishi, if a man does a very bad karma, unintentionally, does it have the same effect as if he does exactly as bad a karma intentionally?
Intentionally, because his attention was there, then the effect will be more intensive, but the effect will be on the same line. Everyone enjoys or suffers in life due to his own karma. Nobody else brings suffering to a man, his own karma brings it. If some friend of yours brings pleasure to you, it's not that he is the cause of pleasure, but some good karma is coming through him. The same friend tomorrow becomes a bad friend. He begins to abuse and begins to bring pain. He is not responsible for bringing the pain. Our bad karma comes through him and we suffer. He is only is only the donkey of our action. Only the carrier. He carries it for us. Whatever belongs to us, he brings it to us, delivers. Just a postman to bring our letter. If I do some sin, in this room there is no one, do some sin, I think nobody has seen it, but it has been exposed to the whole universe. Everyone in the universe knows it. And somehow that will be delivered to us back by all the agencies in the universe, knowing or unknowing. You can't stop the evolution, but if you are committing sin in the room, then you are creating sinful vibrations. And sinful vibrations means wherever they go, they damage the evolution of that thing. They damage the evolution of that thing. Someone speaks ill of the other, and plants damaging him. A very underneath plants, nothing on the surface, but some clicks here and there, and damaging the entire creation by his mischief. Because the agency of thought is just vibrations. That is why scriptures forbid us from speaking ill of someone or damaging someone, doing harm to someone, because apparently we seem to be harming him, but eventually we have to be harmed by our own doing of the harm to someone else. To save the doer, the teaching is don't do any bad thing to anyone, don't commit sin, go for virtue, help thy neighbor. So that in India there is a proverb. If someone speaks ill of the other, he partakes his sin. Because man has that highly evolved nervous system, this great responsibility is unto man and not unto animals. The responsibility of good and bad deeds, sin and virtue, all this is for man and not for animals. Because man is in that position to understand this, how the karma acts, how his action influences the whole creation, and then he is influenced back by the same. One direct result of thinking ill of others is that your mind is captivated by that sin. If someone by mistake or by something, he has done sin, then you bring that sin in your mind, and then you make that impression deep by speaking it to others. And then by listening remarks from the others, you make it deeper still. So you only make deep the impressions in your mind if you talk ill of others. We never criticize, we don't see fault in others. And having seen it, we don't bring it in on our speech, we don't speak it out. Because in speaking, if he has committed a sin, and unfortunately if we have seen it, the impression unfortunately has gone in our mind, but we don't make that impression deep by talking about it. Try to do all good that you can. Put all your energy in doing good, but don't put your energy in criticizing the bad of someone. It's a waste of energy. Because now when you are meditating, you are bringing that stable status of this consciousness in your mind. That is being supplemented, that is supplementing the state of the mind. At this state, if you keep on bringing bad things, talking ill of others and thinking of sin done by others, then you are neutralizing the power that you are gaining from the Absolute. When at leisure you sit with your friends and talk good of others, just talk good of others and don't take interest in listening and talking of something bad done by somebody. Very bad habit. Nothing is more elevating than bringing the mind to the Absolute Being, and nothing is more damaging than talking something bad or reflecting on something sinful. Nothing is more damaging than this. Getting to the transcendent is a direct way to heaven, and talking ill of someone or thinking bad of someone or reflecting on the sin done by someone is a direct way to hell. No greater crime can one commit than talking ill or thinking of something done by someone. Save yourself from your mind going to the bad things. You do good to the extent you can do, but don't think of bad done by others. See, we started spiritual regeneration movement, and if we want, we can spend all our time and years together in criticizing what others have been doing and not doing right thing and all this. There will be no end to criticizing, but thereby our right thing will not be established. So what we are doing is spending 99% of our energy in establishing the right thing. Sometimes here and there bring out that this has been wrong. Then again, the responsibility is more unto those who are more evolved. Responsibility is more unto those who are more evolved. So now we are all on the path of very quick, high evolution. Therefore, we have to be extremely cautious in what we think and what we speak. Don't bring bad things, sinful things, wrong things done by others to your mind, and don't let that mind be spoiled, which is being infused with God consciousness through meditation.